What's your favorite quote from a campaign you've played in? Let us know in the comments below. I thought this plan was foolproof, but I genuinely forgot about doors. The rogue after trying to sneak into a building using a cloak of invisibility. As a DM, I have a habit of pulling my punches. The campaign finale came where my players went through a dungeon and fought a dragon. I called in a buddy, a player from the first campaign I ran. Combat starts. For those of you who don't know, this is my buddy Tom. He'll be playing the dragon today. Tom, kill them all. TPK. Dragon had 2 HP left. In the last session, we had a big fight between my party and an NPC party. One of my PCs is a blood hunter that carries a blood bottle to drink out of and sustain themselves, since they feed off it. Enemy blood hunter that also feeds off blood targeted it specifically during a 1v1, breaking it with an attack mid-fight and mocking, "Blood in a bottle, pitiful. The fact you don't drink fresh, you're not a true hunter." At which my player replied without missing a single beat, "You're fresh, let's start with that!" Handed out an inspiration. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not done yet. Words spoken by my paladin who kept getting ragdolled and died the most in the campaign. 6 deaths, 4 during combat and 2 out. Our dwarven forge cleric entered a room full of cultists with spirit guardians active and used thaumaturgy to cause the torches and lanterns in the room to flare. The illusionist created illusionary fire that wrapped and whirled around him, turning the dwarf into a fire-controlling, flame-wreathed demigod surrounded by spectral soldiers. He then, very calmly said, "You can all fuck off now," to the cultists. I didn't even require an intimidation check. The cultists just ran.
Maybe it's a vegan werewolf.
By Clandigan, I'll kill you all! So this was requested in a high-pitched voice. A hasted level 18 dwarven fighter storming into a room with unarmed and surprised first and second level fighters, who were relaxing after a long day of enslaving people. And yes, it was a massacre. From a player, Kobold Paladin.
I will never stand down. I owe this to all of the kind humans who allowed me to sleep in their house. I owe this to my friends who helped me overcome my cowardice. In this moment, I am a paladin of Bahamut, and you're just another enemy!
From an NPC, Succubi. We don't only want sex, you insensitive racist. You should gift me a bed for the night for that insulting comment. From a boss, Vecna.
I'm too old for memorable one-liners. Just fight me, and let's get this over with.
I shall turn your family tree into a family chair. It was from one of the first campaigns I ever played with high school friends when I was 14, when a player slowly and weirdly said to a stable master, "Can I buy a horse?" I know, it doesn't seem funny, but it's been an inside joke for nearly 15 years now. I don't even know why it was funny in the first place. It just honestly made me laugh every time someone says it. The party was sneaking through a crime lord's lair after having taken out the boss. They wandered into a very crowded kitchen area and everyone looked up and saw them. One of the goons called out, "Who the hell are you?" The party, all at once, gave different excuses at the time. Things like, special delivery, new recruits, I'm just looking for the bathroom, etc. After an awkward pause, the party's bard weakly said, "Well, I'm glad we all said the same thing." Forever one of my favorite moments from a player character. He's had lots of winning lines, but that one will always stick out for me. We have channels on Discord dedicated to memorable lines. Grab my, I only get one free object interaction. I'm going to, shit. Right here? Fontaine, His character, an Echo Knight, has just been tripping on balls this whole campaign. There's no echo. We're all just playing along.
That's not very shadowy.
Not very handy either.
Well, I'm a little handsy when I'm drunk.
A unicorn was summoned via wild magic and the DM, myself, was not prepared. Ah, fuck.
Does the unicorn actually say that?
Yes. I'm trying to think of an in-character way to say how many rages you have left. Lilu, in character.
I have room in my heart to get angry a couple more times. Tajik becomes excited as a free action.
Said in reaction to Tajik's army showing up to save the party, but poor timings made it sound like it was said in reaction to the introduction of a new PC who was described as a very attractive woman.
Alright, I guess I'll die now. And there's a cliff next to Korak, so he's just gonna kind of fall off and plummet to his death.
He died how he lived. Confusingly.
Perhaps the real rations are the friends we made along the way.
We'd run out of food by this point.
The monk effortlessly beat the shit out of a thug, and his friend threw down his weapon and said, "I'm sorry, I've made a mistake."
It's become a running meme in our group. I cast suggestion to convince the clerk we've already paid our taxes.
My name is Helena. Before I joined this group, I was part of a wandering circus. And before that, I worked as a city guard. Also, my father is most likely the guy who killed your dad.
Our party was fighting 3 drow in a tower for a magical item. 2 of them deftly escaped out the window. Our druid wild-shaped and went after them, while our paladin and rogue sprinted down the stairs to help. That left my barbarian, Winston, alone with the drow captain. Winston grappled him, dragged him over to the window, and just said, "Why don't we take this outside?" And I just jumped out the window and used him as a landing mat. Winston survived, the mat did not. We have a Discord channel dedicated to cursed quotes. Here are some highlights. "Oh, thank God my sexy grandpa is alive."
"I'm going to bury my knife so far down your throat that you legally become street food."
So she has like a normal amount of blood?
"This bear will protect my virginity."
Paladin and group had just challenged an NPC to a duel that half the party was really questionable about fighting. The Paladin asks the party, "Don't you all have any faith in me?" My reply as the Cleric was, "I have faith in the diamonds in my pouch."
We're going to die in front of these lesbians!
My party's Cleric, as we had 2 of the big bads randomly show up to troll us while we were shopping at a store owned by a nice couple. Recently.
Wizards be like, they're using magic unethically. Anyway, here's the demon I summoned and bound to my will.
The party's monk, which was fed up by the wizard. One of the party's primary enemies is an enchantment wizard, who is part of an ancient project that summoned and bound several entities from the void between worlds. One of these entities is a god the party has befriended who was bound into a demi-plane by the project, and the party, especially my sorcerer, has a long-term goal of freeing her. From my Lycan blood hunter to an enemy who is part of a multi-dimensional cult bent on collapsing all possible forms of a person into one ultimate form.
All shall become one! And I'm gonna tear you in half!
Another player couldn't help but laugh at how 80s action movie that was. We have a thread on our D&D Discord simply called The List, which catalogs all the absolutely random nonsense that gets said throughout our campaigns. Here's some random ones that made me giggle reading back through them. "I speak to you in your brain, like a true friend." "I could give the table dark vision, guys." "The ghost doesn't want the flamethrower." Who wants it?" "Alright,
the ghost will now give it to the lobster.
Is burnt toast a corpse?
There seems to be a correlation between reading and being eaten by doors.
Maybe we should get Maxima to waterboard the orb. Please tell me the orb can't breathe. Yum. Spider meat.
Ah, poor man. He landed stump side down.
Context: my swashbuckling pirate, a Robin Hood of the high seas type character, trying to come up with a reason why we don't need to return the treasure we found to its rightful, already wealthy heir. First up, the Goody Two-Shoes Druid.
This sounds like you're just trying to justify blatant thievery. And then the swashbuckling pirate.
Well, of course I'm justifying thievery. This is my entire profession! Lost Mine of Phandelver spoilers below. Question mark. I am running Lost Mine with a group of
Never played before
players. While traversing Cragmaw Hideout, they basically ignored the goblin camp to the left, despite my hints that they could smell it. Instead, they went the long way up the middle path and essentially straight to Clarg. After running Clarg out of the cave and failing to chase after him, they checked the rest of the cave and eventually found the goblins and their little camp room. They dispatched the ones they could, and then there was a hostage negotiation between them and Ymik for Sildar's life. I ran the normal convo, and when asked to bring Clarg's head to Ymik, they failed to convince him he was dead without the head, which they couldn't get because Clarg escaped. So they asked what else they could do to trade. He asked for 500 gold and free use of the cave. Now, no one had that, but they had some knickknacks, and even some of their weapons could have successfully been used as bartering. I would have let it be a low persuasion roll DC, but no. The rest of it went like this.
We will give you 50 gold.
400!
50 gold.
200 gold and some weapons?
They were pulling a Skyrim and collecting every enemy's shit, so I let them with the intent of explaining after the fact how we're gonna do looting later. Now it's 50 copper and your life.
For 50 copper you can have his corpse!
Throws Sildar off the ledge toward the group and tries to book it. We've moved way past that, and that last line still haunts my players when they talk to NPCs. Every negotiation starts with, "The wizard does not negotiate for us." Stupid magic man, can't see what will happen.
That's correct, yeah.
Oh god, don't you dare. He see this happening! Sucker punch, boom! I was very happy with the amount of groaning I got for my shitty one-liner. Near the end of Curse of Strahd, one of my players opened the door to the study, revealing Strahd standing in front of the fireplace. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the bathroom. I will allow you to take a single item from here.
All right then, we want that! Points to the big bad evil guy's magic-resisting cloak displayed on a mannequin.
My personal cloak. You are bold to ask for my most valuable relic. Very well then, take it.
We take the cloak off the mannequin, throw it to the floor, and take the mannequin.
What?
You said we could take anything. We leave singing The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Jesus Christ. I can't. I could imagine this being Strahd just going,
and what the hell exactly was that?
For context, a charming old lady offered us some stew in the middle of the night. Bad idea. When a high perception roll picked up that she seems unnaturally happy about something, the great old one warlock cast Detect Thoughts. He could hear nothing from the old lady. Guys, I can't explain it, but whoever we're talking to does not exist. This sent chills down our spine and really helped me get absorbed into the world. Just finished a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game with a rather eclectic cast of characters. We had some rather funny quotes from that game. I have to move 5, 10, 15. Looks at the massive enemies he can now see.
God, this was a mistake.
The Kitsune sorcerer moving through a narrow hallway only to reach the end of the hallway and see 4 swarms of bats and a giant skeleton waiting for him.
Wolves start howling in the distance. Ahoo!
Well, shit! Good thing I have my dog slicer!
The party's halfling fighter, Bob.
All right, now I'm mad! It's time to start unbuilding!
The aforementioned Bob, whose name forever became Bob the Unbuilder, considering he then proceeded to crit like 6 times in a row.
Do you often put strange things into your mouth?
How else am I supposed to figure out how it works? After Bob got covered in a swarm of spiders, having thrown down his weapons to brush all the spiders off, there is one bigger spider standing on the head of your axe as if to say, "This is mine now."
I step on it!
It is no longer his axe. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments below what your favorite quote from a campaign you've played in was. We love you all. Please be safe, happy, and healthy. And, of course, if you ever want to support the channel, it'll be a huge benefit to all of us here at MrRipper. You get early access to videos and keep the lights running for us. Toodaloo for now.